Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is one of the greatest honors since I have started my YouTube channel to be able to have a friendly conversation with who I consider, and I have said this on Twitter over and over and over and over. I consider XRP to be the standard, and I consider this friend of mine to be our standard in our XRP influencer community. So it is a distinct pleasure to be able to have a brief conversation because she's about ready to eat dinner. But I would like to welcome CryptoEri, and would you like to say hello to everyone?
Yes, I'd like to say hello to everyone, and you get a rare appearance from Momo. She doesn't come on to the videos very often.
Well, we may get a surprise entry from Allie, my little lovely companion dog, at any moment. She may be barking right now. She's sleeping about 3 feet away from me. So
what kind of breed is she?
She's actually a mutt. She's a wonderful combination, if you can believe it or not, of a Dachshund and a lab.
Oh my gosh.
So if you can imagine how that ended up happening, then it'll be a wonderful memory.
Which one was the mother?
I'm not 100% sure because she was a rescue dog. My other dog, Pepper, died, so I went up to a shelter. And when I found a dog online that I wanted to go look at. When I got up there was just no connection. And when I was walking through the row of cages, when I walked past Allie, she about jumped out of the cage at me. And it's like, there's my dog.
Oh, I'd be taking all those dogs home at the same time.
I'm a huge pet lover too. My dear sweet girlfriend Carrie just adopted her third cat. So now we have 3 little girls in the family at Carrie's house, and our latest addition we decided to call Charlie. So
well, that's nice. Yeah,
beautiful little tabby, and we're thrilled to death. And the cats now they're in the process of getting comfortable with each other, which is still a bit of a challenge, but it's a lot of fun. So one thing I wanted to ask before we get off, because I know we want to keep this brief, how are things XRP Japan right now from where you see things?
Well, it has slowed down a little bit in comparison to what it was last year because the FSA, which is the Financial Service Agency, they will put out the numbers as to how much is actually traded. And the XRP numbers have gone down a little bit. The adoption rate is still very good. The clarity in terms of regulatory clarity is fabulous. The new Payments Act, the revision was put through on May 1st, and that has allowed for so many doors to open up now, including the STOs, which are the security token offerings, which are coming on strong. And you know, I think that with the change of the law, we're going to see a lot come out of Japan in the way of crypto for Q4 and Q1 of 2021. Yeah, I mean, I think worldwide we're going to see these huge leap forward in the last quarter and the first quarter of 2021. I mean, things are starting to happen really, really fast.
Well, and Eddie, what are the reasons that I admire you so greatly? Number one, your character and your integrity shine through in the work that you do. And number two, proof of that is always the test of time. And you, as far as I can tell, were one of our first XRP influencers. And so based on, your body of work, having been here longer basically than anyone that I'm aware of, how confident are you today in the original vision that you saw with Ripple and XRP?
Yeah, well, I'm not one of the first. I mean, when I first got in, I should show you something that's sitting on the desk next to me over there. There was Trump. Dr. Trump, and there was Hodor, and Tiffany was very active in the days when I first joined. She's still on Twitter, but she is maybe step back a little bit in terms of the amount that she contributes. There's a lot of people that have, look at Alex. Alex was really strong in the community and he's still around, but just not doing the daily streams anymore. So no, I wasn't the first, really. I just maybe have had some of the staying power, that I can tell you, because it's not easy to keep this kind of research up on a daily basis. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and I just am lucky to love it enough to put in the time and still enjoy it. Yeah. So
far as the original vision, when you feel like that light bulb went off, that aha moment went off for you 4 years ago, 3 years ago, however long, is your enthusiasm now and your belief stronger today that this is actually going to come true, what you thought when you first had the light bulb go off?
I still think, and I'm going to be really honest with you here, we're still in that proof of concept phase with XRP. I mean, it is still a big experiment, and there are no guarantees. They are a lot further along in their vision, and I think it has a better chance now, of course, than it did 12 months ago or 24 months ago. But still, there's still a lot of hoops to jump through. And so this space is, I went through the .com era.
Me too.
And I didn't get into that telling you in the portion that we talked, but when I mean I was in the .com area, I started an internet company that matched buyers and sellers for original art, limited edition prints, and sculpture in 1997. And I sold that business to a gentleman in Los Angeles. And then I went down and worked on contract with him for a year. And then that business then did a reverse merger. We went public. And then we saw the boom and the crash of the .com era. And I when I was first doing that, I was actually uploading MIDI files. Do you remember the MIDI files?
I don't remember that.
So I was doing 30-second interviews with artists. 30 seconds, because if I did longer than 30 seconds, the MIDI file would get so big with a dial-up connection, you couldn't wait for it to play. So I was probably one of the first people, because we didn't have streaming. It wasn't streaming technology. You had to actually create a file, and then people had to click on it, and then it had to download through a phone connection, and then you could hear this really bad quality. But the fact that people who were following the secondary art market could hear real words from the artist, it was amazing in those days. It was amazing. It had never ever been something that you could do through a computer before. That was just some of the things that I was doing at the time. But the point is that I saw that space go from nothing. Talk about Wild West. Crypto's just been the Wild West, but you talk about the internet in 97, 98,
Yep.
It was really Wild West.
Yeah.
I mean, I had, it was so life-changing for people in the gallery space that they were threatened by what I was doing, because I was matching up buyers and sellers around the globe and totally cutting the galleries out. I even had some death threats from people who were
Wow.
Yeah, they were going to send anthrax through the mail.
Well, that's one way to go about it.
So, I know that this technology for a lot of people, talk about a disruptor. I was a disruptor, and I was disrupting the gallery space because they had total control of the secondary market art before. And then here it is, the internet, all of a sudden a buyer and seller could bypass the, galleries. That it was a threat to them. Anyway, point being is that I really have some of the same feelings, experiences, and highs, if you will, watching this space grow up, just like the internet space grew up. And now it's the internet, is just totally controlled by a few names. And unfortunately, I have a feeling that the crypto space is going to be the same. It's going to be totally controlled by, I don't want to put any one person or company, but it's going to be controlled by the big financial banks and investors and institutions in the future. And people like you and me who are carving out value in this space, it will be totally unheard of in 20 years from now. No way. Won't even be something you can do.
Well, it's often been said it's better lucky than good.
Yeah, our timing's been great.
Timing is everything. And
Yeah.
again, I'm getting to be a little bit longer in the tooth. So at 58, I too have the memories of the dot-com boom, and I've seen the documentaries about what it was like at the time and how crazy that it all got. But for me, the part that is the most exciting is when I look at the internet of everything, or the internet of value compared to .com, because we've got so many more applications and so many more entrepreneurs that can also look back and see how that all happened to take better advantage of this second go round. It's like the internet, the .com was the first to market, and now this blockchain revolution is going to be the second revolution. And they're going to be people that are going to make astronomical amounts of money as the entire globe is connecting economically.
Yeah, the asset class, to watch the birth of a new asset class has really been a treat. Really has been a treat.
For me too. And one of the treats too has been able to connect with people like you in our community. And so I don't want to keep any longer because I know you're getting ready to eat dinner, but I would like to ask, you just prior to this did one of our moment in time videos, and you really had a great way of capturing the essence of what it is that the reason that I'm trying to do that. And do you remember what you told me about that, or you want me to?
But I kind of rambled, so I'm not sure what point or what part that.
When you said that you kind of felt like what I was doing was documenting history.
Yeah.
Would you mind if you don't kind of share with everyone how you feel about that? And then do you encourage other people in our community to do this with me? Because my dream, my vision is I'd like to have 1,000 of these, so we can share as many stories out there with people in the world, so they'll relate to stories. So let's get as many of these together so we can have that content of those stories to share with everyone. So would you mind letting everybody know how you feel about that?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I think that when you look at documenting the birth of this new asset class, as we talked about, and then actually driving down into a vertical, because it's a very fragmented space. And you can't just tell the BTC story and think that you understand crypto. It's just not that way. I mean, you have to have representatives from the DeFi world now, and you have to have representatives from Ethereum, and you have to have representatives from the altcoins that are really solving a problem. I mean, there are just look at Sunny Liu and what he's doing with VeChain. That's solving a real problem. So the point is that there's so many things to share with people what's going on, and I don't think the XRP community has been given a good window of opportunity to tell their part of this huge cryptocurrency space. I think Bitcoin has received a lot of attention, but XRP deserves to have its story told, because obviously I think that it's going to be a project that does get proven out eventually and is a winning project and is one of the ones that not only survive, but I mean, one that is going to be just huge in the future. So yeah, I'm just really happy you're doing it, because I think that it's valuable. And I think that in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, it's going to be golden.
And Eddie, from the range of people that we have in our community, from our top influencers down to someone who just bought their first XRP possibly this week, do you feel like that each one of those stories, again, from the major influencers down to the newbies, do you feel like that they all have value in what I'm trying to accomplish?
Of course. Yeah, of course. Of course, of course. Yeah.
So,
I mean, look at the cross section of this community. I mean, it's amazing. It's just amazing, from every corner of the world, every kind of background, every age, from every interest, politically all big, huge melting pot. I mean, it's unbelievable. And there's that one common interest that is so strong. It's amazing how it has formed a real community. People laugh at that. And I know people say, well, when this thing moons, I'm out of here. My Twitter's shut down and I'm out of here. I'm on an island. I'm not communicating with anyone. But I think that those friends that you make in the space, because you will if you get involved in this community, as crazy as it is, you're going to make friends. And I think that those friends will probably remain connected to you. I think everyone will have friends that stay connected to them, even once they do shut down their Twitter and they say, sayonara, bye-bye.
well, and one of the things too that I believe in, and is that if we do go to everything is tokenized, that if we've got a group of friends who are together, and one of us finds something really good and we all go in and tokenize it together, that's one of the things that I'm trying to do is to get a network of people of like mind, and then see if there's some things that we'd like to try and do together. If this thing moons to where some of us think it could, we're going to be pretty, our financial lives are going to be in a different place than they are now. So I feel like I'm looking for friends of like mind who can make an impact together if we choose to after the moon.
Yeah, I don't even think, to be honest with you, I don't even think we can dream what it's going to be like 10 years from now. I mean, if you look back at what we thought the internet was going to be in 1997, I never saw it the way it is today. And so I think the same is going to apply with this space. I don't think we can really imagine. And so the creativity to create what you want, the world going forward, and you'll have the means to do it, like you're saying, if everyone is holding on still.
Well, 35 years ago or so, I read a book on paradigm shifting, and that captivated me I think maybe like nothing else as a concept ever has. So I began to look out into the world and watch and see if I could, identify when it looked like that there was a paradigm that was going to shift, like when the cassette went to the CD. And so I've always been captivated by that, studying it, looking for them, and thinking if I could just catch one, and position myself economically. And Eddie, when I look at what's going on now with cryptocurrency and a new digital asset class, new asset class that's digital. Thank you. And the world connecting where the unbanked can all come in and participate with micropayments that are fast and cheap and secure. I see more paradigms converging all at once. I wake up every single day excited and feel like I'm a kid in a candy store and can't wait to watch all my favorite YouTubers like you share more information about how XRP is developing. And when Brian Brooks came along and started talking from the OCC, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sleep normally ever again, because I go to sleep and I want to get some rest, but I want to wake up so I can see what my YouTube influencers have for me for the day.
This is a really hungry community for knowledge, and that's what I did speak to, that it is one of the most serious when it comes to studying the space and educating themselves, and everybody is leveled up. And Hester Peirce just recently said that they're going to re-look at the way they judge an accredited investor, and if somebody thinks that they are a sophisticated investor because they have done their education and their eyes are wide open, and if you go to the SEC and you tell them, I think that I am qualified to buy this project because that's the step that they're moving in. And if you were to break down the people who are qualified and could pass that SEC test, I tell you, a lot of the XRP community could, because they are so serious about learning down to the most difficult details. They just overcome. And when I mean overcome, I mean they are learning about this space to a professional level. It's amazing.
Well, and I think that a part of that, and again, I love our community so much, and I know that we are viewed by a lot of the other crypto communities as the most hated, as the banker coin people. But I really truly believe that we have the best YouTube influencers than any of the other crypto communities. We just have in my opinion, a fantastic group of influencers who are providing us with accurate, up-to-date information on a daily basis that I don't see about any of the other projects out there in crypto. And then you add that to the fact that when I look at Ripple, and it's like I don't see any other team of a company behind a project like Brad Garlinghouse and David Schwartz and that board of directors. And then I add the tech of what XRP does. And that's why I wake up every day excited like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, there's actually, I don't want to forget the people who are on Twitter and not doing YouTube channels, and even the people in the XRP chat, and the people who are in the Discord, and the people who are on Reddit. And that's the interesting thing about this, is not everybody. When you look at the poster that Steadis did, and you look at that poster and you see the different groups, where Twitter is really the largest of all of the people who are sharing and researching and bringing value. So it's a complex space. It's very complex. So you're tackling something very difficult, actually. So if you can truly represent this community in that wide spectrum as it really is, coming from all those different, even the coil bloggers, it's just, it's a lot more complex than I think most people realize.
And that's one of the reasons that I'm trying to encourage everyone in our community to come and share their story. And FYI, I do have Status working on, he's going to do it in an audio where he's going to send me the audio and then I'm going to make a video out of it. But again, that's what I want to be able to get everybody's story on record. So when we want to share this with other people, because your story is important. And even to the people out there who may be a little shy, we don't have to do it on camera. Jade and XR Plumber did it with just their avatar. And if you just want to send me an audio version, then I'll go ahead and piece everything together for you. But just take it from Eddie. You don't have to listen to me, but take it from our standard. Getting our stories on the record is an important thing to do, and we need everybody to help out if they can.
Galgatron. Maybe Galgatron will use I don't know how you do it because I've never looked into it, but XRP Rose did it. Remember XRP Rose was doing some, but she was using a
avatar.
Is that what it?
Yes, she did it. Yes, she did an interview with me. And basically, the bottom line is if somebody just gets on their phone and they do what you did, my name, my background, how I got into crypto, where I feel like we are now, where I feel like we are going, and a final message to the world and our community. Just talk it in your phone and send me the audio file. I can take that. I can take that, put it on a video and put their avatar on the screen, and that's it. All I need is the audio, and I want their voice. I had another gal that I was talking to the other day, and she's like, well, can I just write something and give it to you? And I said, well, it's gonna really be awkward. I'm doing a female story with, a voice for television. It's just not going to work as well. So just talk it yourself in your phone and send me the MP3 file.
Yeah. Well, I encourage everybody to participate, and I really wish you luck. And I think that if you stick with it, it's going to be an amazing, even someone like Notorious. I think I've never heard Notorious, but look at his videos.
I know. And one thing too that I did want to mention, and again, I'm going to let you go because I know you want to eat and I don't want to overstep on the time that you're sharing with me. And I completely forgot what I was just going to say.
Notorious.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many people though, even, we talk about if you could get the Ripple Riddler to come back.
Hodor, who was the gal that used to do all the tweeting and then she left?
I know who you mean, but the name is just off.
Yeah, mine too.
Not Renee, but it seems like it starts with an R. Yeah,
and there's a professor at a Florida University, Stetson, that has the same name. Because when I see somebody and people are mentioning it, I always try to do a background check and see if I can find out who it is, and then invite them and see if I can get them to do an interview.
Well, you've got a ton of content to grab out there. You're not short at all on content. You have so many people that you can draw from. So,
and I'm just hoping that if everyone now has heard from our standard, to encourage you. And, please try and help make this happen, because if we can get enough of these out there and you're interested in sharing Ripple and XRP, my background is that I've been in sales for 35 years, and I can promise you the way you want to begin a conversation of persuasion is with a story.
Yeah.
And so as many stories as I can accumulate for everybody, if you're sharing XRP with someone who happens to be like an attorney, share with them an attorney sharing their crypto story. Their brain is going to open up, and then fill in with a great news video like from CryptoEri or from any of our other fantastic YouTubers. So
Yeah.
that's my encouragement.
I know Brad Kimes and Dustin have their video. I'm really looking forward to it. I saw some of the opening kind of trailer. It looks
Me
like
too.
it looks like it's going to be fabulous. And that is going to be valuable too in the future. But this is a changing space, and people are the community is growing all the time, and it is. I'd love to see you go deep into the XRP community, and because I think that Brad's video is a little bit wider in its scope, which is good, which is great. I like the inclusiveness of going wide, but me personally, I think the value that you're going to bring is that really strong vertical niche, which, you know, the niche of the XRP community. That is really is important.
And I would like to give a good shout out to Brad. He is another person that I consider to be in this space, a friend of mine. And
Mhm.
yes, I'm looking forward to CryptoEri as well. And
It's,
and and again,
Jansen, Mike Jansen is doing the.
yep, editing of it right now.
I like him. He's very, very nice guy. I like everybody. I really, there's just so many great people in this space.
Well, I haven't met anybody yet that I haven't liked, and so I feel blessed. And again, I can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
And I look forward to again in the future because I am honored to be able to say that I consider you to be a friend of mine, and I'm looking forward to continuing documenting the history of this, what's happening to us, and be able to share part of that, a little bit of that with you like I have so far. And it is truly from the bottom of my heart an honor. And I can't thank you sincerely enough for sharing, for what you've done to be able to help keep me educated on what's going on in this space with the integrity and the character and the class that you present yourself with.
Thank you. But I look forward to your first tokenization project.
All right, fantastic. Well, you take care, and I'll be in touch. I got one more thing I wanted to ask you after I
Yeah.
turn this thing off. And thank you, everyone. Take care, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.